Good morning, bee people. It's very early here this morning. The sun's just peeking over into our back second bee yard. And we have a quick video for you on how to install a nucleus colony. Some of you may be getting nucleus colonies or may have gotten them already, but if you haven't, or maybe in the future, it's important to know how to install them and what you need to do. So we're going to go ahead and install this nucleus colony in this box here. This is a deep hive body on a Bee Smart bottom board, and we will use a screened inner cover and a Bee Smart top cover. But we're going to pull them out of this nucleus colony over here. A few nucleus colonies that we just added to our apiary were from one of our friends in the beekeeping community, Neighbor Nate's bees, and he worked with us to help. We helped him with his apiary, and we got a couple nucleuses from him. But this one particular one was busting at the seams, and I had it in here for a day or so, and you can see it is packed. They've built comb all on the sides of these pro nukes and on top, and I need to get it over into this deep box. So let's see what we can do to install this nucleus in the deep, and watch how we do that. Okay, so we've got our bottom board set up and our nucleus. Ready to go. Take our top cover off. I'm looking for just a queen to see if she's walking on the lid. Likely not, but just to make sure. Quick tap of the lid. It'll fall down in the box. I then am going to remove that outside frame. I like these pro nukes because you can actually, if you got a lot of bees in here like this, you can take the frames and lean them back against the wall. And that way you don't roll as many bees. So if you happen to have your queen on there, you won't roll your queen. And so heavy frame of resources. And we've got brood on this side over here. I'm just quickly looking for the queen. I did not see her, but I will look again. I'm setting that there. I'm going to pull my next frame out. A lot lighter. There's really little resources. The only resources they typically put on a full brood frame, there's a lot of hatched out brood here. There's actually a lot of larvae in all stages across here. We got some capped larvae. We have some mature or capped larvae, some mature pupa, and some eggs around the edge. These are just unhatched. So there's some few resources up here, some capped honey, not a lot, but I'm just looking for my queen on here. Beautiful pattern. She's in every single cell. Good genetics. Okay. Wonderful frame. We'll put that in the middle. Okay. So this is a beautiful frame. You can see here it has all capped brood on it. In the holes where there's no capped brood, there's pollen or nectar. A lot of people think, oh, it's got to be completely covered. For bee coverage, yes. For maintaining the bees, the actual brood, yes, you need to have 50% more bee coverage on a frame. Being that this is fully capped, I don't expect to see it covered because they're not trying to maintain that uncapped larva. But if I go to a side or I look at the last frame, you saw how it was covered more. And there's a lot of bees in this box. But what you need to look for is look for a good solid pattern across the frame. Look for resources along the top. There may be some pollen also scattered up there. A lot of people say, oh, well, she's not a great laying queen because of these little holes that are scattered throughout the pattern. It's not solid. Well, remember, they need to feed the larva, right? So in order to feed the larva, they need bee bread, right? And in order to do that, you want to make that convenient as possible. So what the actual colony does is fills a few cells as she's laying with the bee bread or nectar or pollen, whatever it may be that they're going to use, and then she can't lay in that cell. So, don't think that your queen is not performing well because she can't cover a full sheet of brood. This is a solid frame of brood right here. And we're going to stick that in the colony. Right in the middle. You see they're still working on this side over here. That would be more than 50% coverage of bees. This is what you want when you want to make sure that your colony is strong. Okay? And they'll migrate back over and tend to those other side of the brood as well. Okay, so what we have here is a solid frame of brood. It's got a lot of nectar on the bottom half down here. I'm just looking for a queen. I don't see her immediately because she's probably laying on the frame that's open. Lots of bees here. Okay, some brood scattered throughout. This looks like a frame that she did lay in. It hatched out and they backfilled a lot of the holes because they had no room to put their honey. So this is one why we would take and we would move out further in the center. I anticipate this last frame being heavy with resources as well, and bees, and maybe the queen. Okay, so again, larvae in all stages, pupa, capped, brood, and lots of bees on this back half, which is all honey. It's all capped honey back here. I did not spot my queen yet, which I'm not concerned, only because I see lots of one-day-old eggs in the center of the astral cell. And that is an indication that she is here at least within the last 3 days, and she is laying. I'm just taking a quick glance before I put this one back in because there's a lot of eggs on this one, so my assumption is that she's on this one. Again, but I am not concerned. And I don't see any queen cells, which tells me that they have not panicked yet and thinking they don't have a queen. One thing I want to do real quick is quickly go back and look at some of these middle frames that I put in, this lighter one here, and see if I spot her on it now that they've calmed down a bit. Again, larvae in all stages, wonderful looking frame. And you notice how I put that frame, these frames in the exact order they were when they were in the box. Now I'm going to take and kind of clean up. The bees will put back the burr comb. That's just what they do. But I like to clean it up as I install it so I know that when I put it in, it's ready to go. Okay, it's good wax for candles, lip balms, things like that. Let's take a look one more time at this other frame, see if we see her. Some good amount of drones in here, about 10%, 15% of the colonies of drones. So that's good. When you're putting frames in a hot colony, even though the queen may not be on it, you want to treat it like she is. You don't want to squish your queen on the frame rail side. That would be devastating to your colony. Sometimes she gets underneath these big clusters of bees. So you just do a little blow on there and they scatter and you can see if you can find her. Again, I am not too set on finding her. I'm just doing a once over on the frame, so if I happen to see her, I can mark her. Not on that frame either. I'm going to go back to the original frame. And look, because sometimes she likes to hang out where they got honey. Lord knows why, but okay. I'm not going to spot her today, but I'm going to come back and I'm going to look for her later when they can disperse amongst more frames. Not a bee volume in this. We talk about bee volume a lot in our colonies. Bee volume is essentially the amount of bees that are on a frame. 50% or more is always good. When you look at a nectar frame that's fully capped, right now they're just covering the brood, and that's just fine. If you look at a frame that's full of brood, wherever they lay the eggs, this is only like 25%. That's only about 25%, but what we're going to do is put these bees from the box in there, and they will gravitate over to cover those parts of the frames. Kind of disturb the nest a little bit now, and we're just trying to put it back together. So, taking a glance at my box, see if I see my queen running around. Sometimes she likes to hang on the sides of the box in these nukes. Do not see her. So how do you get all these bees out of the box? You got to be a little bit abrupt with it, but you don't need to be forceful. You want to make sure you don't squish any bees, or try not to squish as many bees. So what you'll do is you give it one good tap. They fall to the bottom, and then as they kind of cluster together, you just dump them out. Any of the last remaining ones in here, one good tap, and there you go. So now you got an empty box. They're all down inside the colony, and we can now backfill this with some frames. So I've got some old drawn comb that's pretty still good condition that a solid colony like this will definitely clean up. I've already put it in the freezer to get rid of any wax moths. I took it out, let it warm up to the normal temperature, and now I'm just taking it and reinstalling it as a checkerboard within this colony, just like so that they can continue to build out on that combs. Now, one thing I do want to do is come back. I didn't have enough frames to grab out of the shop, so I want to come back and fill this with frames. There's enough bees in here for bee coverage for it to be filled with frames. And the rule of thumb with the coverage is the 50% on the frames. I use an 80-50, 80-50. 80-50 means 80% of the frames are covered with bees, 50% or more on the combs. So that's a good rule of thumb to use if you don't want them to draw out wonky comb, or you don't want them to swarm. Right now we have in here 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 frames from a 5-frame nuke. Now, as these bees over here start to migrate back across, they're going to fill in all these frames. They'll probably fill out 80%. This would be 80%. And there'll be more than 50% on the frames. That's another good reason to add more frames or another box. When they reach these outside 8, and they're covering all 8 of these, and these 2 are on the outside are not covered, that's when you would add another box. And you have to make a choice whether you want to add a brood chamber or you want to add a honey super. And right now we're still in a honey flow here in the eastern shore of Maryland. So we want to make sure we capitalize on that if we can. It's a pretty good solid colony that's got brood in it in all stages. A queen, which we didn't get to catch or see, but we do see that she has eggs. She's been here at least for a few days, so we know she was in here. We'll come back and check this colony tomorrow, and I'm going to bring back 2 frames to put on the outside. I'm going to check for the queen, and we should be able to button this colony up. We use the screen inner covers to cap it off. As you can see here, this is one of the things we really like in the Bohemia apiary is screened inner covers. You can actually observe what's happening to your colony without disturbing the colony. by just lifting the lid and peeking under. So I really like these screened inner covers. We sell them. If you need to get those, please reach out to us. But I really like that way of inspecting our colony. They will put propolis and wax on it, and that's fine. You can harvest the propolis off, scrape the wax off, and continue to use it. But this is a smart thing for when you're managing your apiary, an easy way to do it. We have, of course, naturally our Bee Smart top covers, which we put on. And then we usually just cap that with a paver brick, and that's all that's necessary, so that we can ensure that that doesn't blow off. But that's how you take a nucleus colony that's busting at the seams that you may have recently gotten, and how you install it into a 10 frame deep so that they can continue to grow. Remember, bees are not like lizards or reptiles. They don't need a giant box or empty box to grow into. The colonies you see behind us back here that have 4 and 5 boxes is because they have more than 60 to 70 to 80% bees coverage on most of the frames, right? So that's why we have those. But this one right here is sufficient. The single deep's easy to manage, easy to inspect, and it allows the actual beekeeper to come in here, lift the lid off, peek inside, see what the bees are doing, understand what the bee volume looks like across the frames, and determine whether they need to add a box or what they need to do. That's how we install a nucleus here at the Bohemia Apiary. If you have any questions, comment below. Make sure you support your local beekeepers, and make sure that you also reach out to us and let us know how we can help you be a better beekeeper, learn with us. We're not an expert. We like to share our experiences. So join us here on the channel, subscribe to the channel, get the hit the alerts button, because you don't want to miss the next video here we do at Bohemia Apiary, where beekeeping is definitely more than a hobby. It's an obsession. Thanks for watching.